So all of you here, most of you know that for the past 12 months, we've been doing Unity 12 powers, or 12 affirmations, or attributes of God. And so December, making the 12th month, we're here on the final power, which is life. And it's also, as you all are starting to understand, the first Sunday of Advent. And so the word adventure, which means an unusual and stirring experience, comes from the same Latin root word of Advent. The Unity booklet, The Promise of Christmas Advent, in 1994, said, the vast and uncharted frontier for the Advent experience is that which exists within. To search for the advent of Jesus Christ means to embark on the adventure of spiritual introspection. And I would add rebirth. And once again, this power is life. Life is the ability to energize and animate, to create. The disciple is Judas, and he represents the cleansing of selfishness, allowing the life force to allow to every part of the body. The corresponding color is red. We will start to wear red for Christmas. And the location is the reproductive organs. Wouldn't you know? Giving mine. Possibly, we may not all want to recognize Judas, the man who betrayed Jesus Christ. But Judas had a necessary role in the Messiah story, and the equality he represents, which is life, plays an important part in our development of the perfect person ideas. Even though Judas committed suicide after he betrayed Jesus, he wasn't out of the picture completely. After the resurrection, the other 11 disciples met and chose a successor to Judas to bring their number back to 12. So the faculty of life operating on a higher plane continues to work with the powers for the lifting up of the whole being. In developing our God-given potential, we cannot ignore the Judas in us. We must learn to recognize our weaknesses and limitations and cope with them by lifting the life idea to a higher plane of consciousness. It is time to awaken our own radiant energy. All people are expressing the life ideas to a greater, lesser degree, but only those who are keeping this power under the direction of the Christ can enjoy the fullness of life, that is, the God-given potential. We are to experience life as an idea that not only enriches the soul, but also lifts up the physical body in perfect expression of the pattern God implanted in it from the very beginning. Life works best when it's able to flow throughout the whole being as radiant energy, devoted to the Christ activity and governed by the Christ wisdom and order. That takes a lot of cleansing to refine the life ideas in soul and body. We're constantly having to let go of things and cleanse and release. The selfishness and the acquisitiveness of Judas must be purified. Life must learn to draw its sustenance from the universe freely and easily without craving for possessions and hostilities to close it in and limit it. Life works best when it's able to flow throughout the whole being as a radiant energy devoted to the Christ consciousness activity that's governed by the Christ wisdom and order. Never deny the life idea or think of any part of your body as unclean or not in its perfection. Rather, awaken to the faculty at the center and feel an animating action radiating through all the cells and atoms of your being as a greater expression of God. This is the way in which the depths of the physical body will finally overcome. Let's just take a moment and meditate and think about that in a moment. So just relax. And this talk will be a little bit different because I'm going to be happy to go into this space on and off today. So just relax for a minute and open your mind to the power of life. Today I celebrate life around me and as me. I am a unique, valued expression of the divine as I walk in the world. I delight in the wonders of my daily experience and intricacies of a dragonfly, the romping laughter of children, and the crash of thunder. I breathe in life. I am energized by spirit. I am vital, upbeat, and at one with the life force. I accept the gift life offers me. My mind and heart are receptive to the blessings of abiding peace, abundant prosperity, unconditional love, glowing health, and unlimited creativity. Today, I let my light shine brightly. I anticipate and welcome opportunities to give and to do the blessing. As I expect and look for the best in others, I become even more aware of the spark, the light of the divine reflecting from them. I choose to live my life as a loving, harmonious, delight-filled experience. Breathing that in, feeling that energy, bring that energy back to the room, and become aware. I also mentioned that this is the first week of Advent, and we're stepping into the holiday season. As it approaches, we often hear the language spoken of preparing the way. Traditionally, Advent is the time of reflection and affirmation, with each week represented by a theme. Advent guides us to explore what Christmas means to us personally and discover that the greatest gift we can give our family, friends, and the world is ourselves. We don't need to go nuts and crazy finding the best gift or the perfect gift. Giving ourselves and our love and our understanding is the best gift. Some of you may have been put off by using Christ so much today. We are based on Christianity, and our Unity founder, Charles Sizemore, spoke of Unity in the Advent in the January 24th, 1923 radio broadcast called Christ's Mind, the Second Coming of Christ. He shared his thoughts on understanding that Christ is the idea and divine mind, and highlighted the universality of the Christ, the divine essence that dwells in every one of us, the essence of who we are. So have you ever wondered why was the story of Mary and Joseph and the divine child born in the manger continue to resonate for more than 2,000 years later? Well, Christmas represents the divine child born in each of us, and the divine attributes we can develop as we learn to express God's nature in human form. Our each unique individual human form expressing God. In the 4 Sundays of Advent, we claim aspects of our divine nature. Open faith, which is this week. peace, love, and joy. The traditional themes of Advent allow us through meditation and prayer and affirmation to contemplate ways to share our deepest gifts of hope and faith, peace, love, and joy. This week being the first representing hope and faith. Most Christians focus on hope during the first week of Advent in Unity, perhaps inspired by the view that faith is the assurance of all things hoped for. We contemplate both hope and faith as we spiritually prepare our hearts and minds for Christmas. Think of it as a hope-faith continuum. Hope arises when we glimpse into a new possibility. These glimpses can inspire us to make positive changes. They can motivate us to adopt new ways of thinking and believing. And as we increase our hope on this continuum, we enter the realm of belief. We believe because we have an intellectual understanding of how a thing works. We may also believe it because it's what we've been taught. The challenge is that it's possible to have two contradictory beliefs concurrently. For instance, we believe in an abundant universe, yet sometimes when our funds are low, the anxiety we feel betrays a residual lack a belief in lack. Resolving these contradictions is the domain of faith. It's in the spiritual dimension that we experience faith as a deeper inner knowing arising from divine intelligence. We are blessed, for each of us has this access to hope, belief, and faith in the Christmas story's promise of infinite good and love and everlasting. So, I'd like to take a moment again for our affirmation today. And as I light the candle of hope and faith, I was really moved by the daily word message today. I was able to read it prior to today because I actually got myself a large print one. That makes it so much easier. But I do want to share it with you because it really can resonate some energy, faith, and hope and faith. So let's listen to it again. As Advent begins, I welcome the opportunity to reflect more deeply on what I hope for and what I earn in my life. Hope is a seed, a possibility. My divine faculty of imagination allows the seed of hope to sprout. Nurtured by faith, the seed takes root and grows from I hope to I believe. I may have not hoped for God. I may not have hoped God would help me. Now I have faith that the Christ within, I can help myself. I may have once hoped for the life of my dreams. Now I have faith I can create the life I want through the power of my feelings and thoughts. I believe I mindfully use these words at the start of my Advent and beyond. I feel inspired. Because with that hope and faith, we can manifest those desires by listening within. And so I just want to review because I'd like to kind of give you a little introduction for the year. And we will move into week 2 next week, which is peace. Most traditions of the Christmas story begin with the angel Gabriel telling Mary she is to bear a son. But in the Gospel of Luke, Jesus' birth story parallels John the Baptist months before Gabriel visited Mary. Gabriel appeared to Zechariah and announced to Zechariah's wife Elizabeth she would bear a son to be named John. Because he was so old, Zechariah questioned whether paternity was possible. And like Mary's initial response to her probable pregnancy, that while Mary's question was answered, Zechariah was chastised for doubting and struck mute for the duration of his wife's pregnancy. The situation and questions aren't the same, but Mary gives encouragement, while Zechariah gives silence. Why? As manifestations of life originated in silence, the Society of Silent Unity wrote in Unity Volume 17, the thoughts that rise in you come to the surface in deed and act. Are they not in silence? It comes from our silence that we get our true guidance. Unity's perpetual cycle of thought is a gift that brings greater peace. As we start to shut down the brains and all that mind talk that's going on, I kind of think that for Zechariah, muteness was imposed, and we are caused to mute our own thoughts. With quiet minds and open hearts, we find rest in the peace that surpasses all understanding. Possibly Zechariah's muteness is not a punishment, but a gift. It's a gift we all are invited to give as well as to receive. Listen to your guidance. Week 3, we will be representing love. Many of us know the basic story of Christmas. We all know from hymns and pageants about Joseph and Mary, the angels, the stars, the stables, the kings and shepherds, and of course, baby Jesus. We all pretty much know those stories. But let's look at the kings and shepherds for a moment. Under normal conditions back then, kings and shepherds would never hang out. What that means for us, they said, is that from his birth, Jesus taught that we should love everyone, black, brown, or white, rich or poor, cool or nerdy, gay, straight, or questioning, Democrat or Republican. We gotta love them all. Okay? And at our core, they say we are one in God's love. It's a view of unconditional love that defines Christ consciousness quite succinctly. There's an incredible sense of power and freedom in both giving and receiving love without condition or expectation. The experience can be so profound that we lose track of whether we are the giver or the receiver. And so in week 4, we will be looking at joy. And when we light the Advent candle for joy, we will remind ourselves of the spiritual truth of the season. Unto us a child is born. Unto us a child is born. That means you and me. In telling the Christmas stories, the gospel writer reminds us that when things seem dark, joy can come in unexpected places and small packages. I'm going to stop there a minute and share a quick little story that happened to me a week and a half ago. I've been doing 3 years of counting and getting preparation for taxes and getting preparations for finalizing the estate and accounting. And I had stacks and stacks of things that I was going crazy because you down here, up here, and down there. And so then I ended up having stacks of things and I needed to get them together and I needed to get my numbers on a spreadsheet. I used to do that all the time. I was a bookkeeper, but I could not get my head around it. I thought it, and it was very difficult. So I reached out to a friend of mine. You all know her, Reverend Kathy Conklin. And I am not a person that asks. I kind of grew up with the idea is you don't ask for things because that's impolite, so you just kind of look like you want it, so do the offer or something, you know? And I couldn't ask. I haven't been able to ask. And I got to thinking, you know what? I get a public call on Sundays, and I'm always sharing about asking for what you would like and sharing those things. So what's wrong? So I did. I called up Kathy and I said, you know, I know you used to do bookkeeping and I need help. She was ecstatic. She said, I would love to help you. And so she came down to the farm and we spent 3 days. And it was absolutely wonderful. And everything came into order. So that's what's important about asking and being willing to be vulnerable. Because that was not an easy thing for me to do. And her gratitude of being that was so heartfelt. It was awesome. Awesome. So we also know that children remind us of the joy and playing and giving and learning and loving. In the presence of such joy, our inner child can awaken a Christ nature, and then the Messiah is truly born. And that's another thing that we did. We took time to have fun and just kick back and get crazy and laugh and giggle. And it felt so good to allow that energy to come through us. We felt like we were reborn again. So we know that Christmas is not a event that happens only in December. 2,000 years ago, Christmas happens as we open up to the possibility of hope. When we live in the understanding of peace and when we give love. The joy that is Christmas, the birth of the Christ, happens all the time, every minute of the every day. As the days get shorter and darker, darkness seems to close in, we will light the candle for joy to remind ourselves of the power and the presence within us. Then we celebrate this season with a newfound faith. So may you have the hope and the faith to feel the joy in the bottom of your heart this season and always.